Athletics Series 3 is currently underway at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi, and this edition carries a lot more significance beyond the usual domestic calendar. It marks the first able-bodied outdoor athletics competition to be held on the newly installed Mondo track here at the JLN Stadium. For Indian athletics, that detail matters. The Mondo surface, which is usually used at global events, including the Olympics, is designed to optimize grip. It is designed to improve energy return and provide a more consistent running and jumping experience, as Animesh Kujur also alluded to it, that it makes him faster. In simple terms, it brings Indian athletes closer to international standard conditions without ever leaving home, which was a problem in the past. That very shift in infrastructure changes the way that this meet is viewed. Domestic competitions for Indian athletes have often been limited by inconsistent services and varying conditions, making it very difficult to acutely assess performance levels. Now, with the introduction of this Mondo track, a world-class track in Delhi, Athletics Series 3 has become more than just a competition. It becomes a more reliable benchmark for performance. And performances here will now offer clearer insight into how athletes might translate their form onto the international stage, especially with major events like the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games on the horizon, CWG in July, in August, and the Asian Games in later this year. Among the key names in focus is obviously Sachin Yadav. The javelin thrower has steadily built his profile over the past year, and the most notable performance was obviously a fourth place finish at the 2025 World Championships and a personal best that has crossed the 86-meter mark. In the absence of some of India's biggest names in this event, the spotlight has naturally shifted towards him. This meet presents an opportunity for Sachin Yadav not just to win but also establish and assert himself as a leading figure in Indian javelin after Neeraj Chopra, in a discipline where depth is now increasing, and performances like these can play a role in shaping the pecking order. On the track is also the return of Hima Das, which has added another layer of interest to this very competition. The former world junior champion is set to compete after a prolonged period away from her competitive athletics. Her comeback is significant, both from a performance perspective and also what she represents within Indian sport. After nearly 2 years without racing at this level, the focus will obviously not solely be on the timings, but also attention will be on her race rhythm, her physical readiness, and how she manages the transition back into high-level, elite-level competition. Now, with the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games approaching, her return comes at a very crucial time for India's sprint contingent. Another athlete on the watch list is Niharika Vashisht. She has breached the qualifying mark for the Asian Games, although final selection will be determined by the federation. She comes into this meet on the back of a very, very strong year last year in 2025, showing steady progress and consistency in her performances. And for athletes like Vashisht, competitions such as this are not important for not only maintaining form but also strengthening her case ahead of selection decisions. Adding to the depth of the field, of course, is superstar Animesh Kujur, who has delivered one of the standout performances of the meet. He won both the 200-meter and the 100-meter senior men's events, clocking 20.7 seconds in 200 and 10.28 in the 100-meter races. These results have underlined his current form. He is a strong contender in India's sprint setup, heading into a crucial phase of the season. And with the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games approaching, once again, performances like these will carry a lot of weight in selection decisions. Now, beyond individual performances, Athletics Series 3 functions as a very important checkpoint in the broader athletics calendar. It offers athletes an opportunity to test their form early in the season, identify areas of performance, and also adjust their preparation accordingly. Now, for coaches and selectors, it also provides valuable data points, especially in a sport where progression is often measured by fractions of a second or a few centimeters. These early season assessments are going to be very, very critical ahead of a very important year for athletics. Now, the presence of improved infrastructure here at JLN has reflected a gradual but noticeable shift in Indian athletics. There is a growing emphasis on providing athletes with better facilities and more structured competition environments. Now, while one meet alone does not redefine a system, but it has contributed to a larger process of alignment within global standards. And as this event continues in Delhi, the focus remains firmly on performance under these upgraded conditions. The new track, the return of experienced athletes, and the emergence of newer names together have created a very layered narrative. It is not just about results, it is about readiness, it is about progression, it is about the direction that Indian athletics is moving in, especially with the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games drawing closer.